What's going on, guys? So today I got my Sabre 68 home defense launcher. Uses 68 caliber balls, ammo, pepper, whatever. Today I have the 9.9 gram Riot balls. I've never shot these out of either of these markers. This is the T4E TR68 or HDR68 revolver. It's giant. This was a 7.5 jewel version, but I pulled the old valve out of here and I put a 16 jewel valve in here, and I have the restrictor in the handle in there, that little shiny thing. So there's no valve block, but there's a restrictor. And this is basically stock. The only thing I've done to this that I can't undo is I drilled this restrictor in the back of the power tube and the valve assembly. I drilled it out to 1 millimeter. So I think it was probably 0.8 or 0.7 before I drilled it out. I have videos of what I've done. If you just look back, I made playlists for all my stuff now. So there's a playlist for this one, and there's a playlist for this one, and there's a playlist for the S2, the Salt Supply S2. I have a bunch of crap on my playlist thing. So I'm going to use 12 gram CO2s, Crossmans. It's about 72 degrees Fahrenheit out here. Not that warm. I think that's like 22 Celsius. So that's what I'm working with out here right now. Sorry about this noise with the planes and stuff. Alright, so I got the 9.9 gram Riot balls in here. I think they're kind of small bore. I got these from Sean from Less Lethal for Dummies. He sent me an M17. Thank you, Sean. And he also sent me these things in the magazine of the M17. So I'm going to try this out. I have my chronograph over here. And I'm going to puncture this CO2 currently. And let me fix my camera. I'll be right back. Alright, you guys. Got the Behemoth revolver thing. 12 gram in here. It's pressurized. And see what this does. So I'm assuming this is going to get around 200 feet per second. Probably. 210. 202. 198. 194. And I got one more ball. 196. So I'm just going to reload really quick because I got all this stuff right here. So this is also same ammo. 188. 190. 190. 182. And last round with this mag. Didn't fire for some reason. I'll be right back. Alright, so yeah, sometimes I have weird stuff happen with my T4E things every once in a while, and that's one of the things where the valve gets stuck. So I don't know why it does that. So here's the 10th shot. 170. There was one dry fire. I pulled the magazine out of the side, and this valve right here was like protruding out. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's oiled and stuff. It just, ever since I bought this thing, every once in a while the valve will get stuck like that, even though it's oiled and maintenance and everything. So this is the third magazine. 168. 166. 162. Two more shots. 154. 144. I'm gonna get those balls and I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, this is gonna be the last magazine. This is the fourth mag. I've had one dry fire when the valve, not the valve, but the bolt that goes forward got stuck. It still looks like it's like in that forward position. You can see it's kind of like right there. It's usually sunk in, but yeah, sometimes this happens to my TR68. So let's see what this does. Last magazine. 130. 104. This radar only reads 100 feet per second or higher, so this is not going to register most likely. Out of gas. So yeah, I typically, with the restrictor in the handle and with the valve block removed, I typically get like 3 magazines or 15 shots with my TR68. The first 2 are the strongest. The third magazine's pretty weak. So you could get about 10 shots out of this. And it seemed like it's pretty consistent, the drop off on the first 2 mags. There's not like a huge drop off in between shots. So that is kind of cool that it performs that well. But yeah, this is like a budget kind of launcher. You can get this for like $100. The 7.5 joule version, get it for about $100, $115. You can pull the valve block out of your 7.5 joule version, put a restrictor disc in the handle, and it'll do pretty much what this is doing right now. I had the old style crimped valve in here, so I pulled that valve out and put the 16 joule valve in here. So if you get the power kit with the 7.5 joule version one, you'll have that shortened firing pin, which mine does not have a shortened firing pin, but it'll end up costing about the same as just swapping out the valve, or more actually, because sometimes those power kits are like $60, and it's the firing pin, shortened firing pin, and the restrictor disc. So there's a lot of different ways you can run this. I could put a giant barrel on this thing, but I just want to do a head-up comparison with these two because these are kind of performing at the same speeds. So I'm gonna put a CO2 in there, get the Riot balls, throw it in this yellow thing. So I'll be right back. Alright you guys, Saber is loaded, Crossman CO2 in here. I haven't pressurized it yet, but I'm going to once I stick it in that launcher. I have 7 balls in here, and I'm going to breech load one in the breech right here. So you can drop one in there, right in that circle shaped hole, and it'll stay in there. It won't fall out unless you flip it over. So, you know, obviously if I flip this over, it's gonna fall out, but just put it in there, load your mag upside down. As I said before, this is not pressurized or anything, not yet. So this is loaded now. It's not pressurized yet. And I'm just gonna set up right here. Got the Saber. So yeah, 9.9 gram balls. I don't know what this will do, but see what it does. So this is pressurized now, and I'll get on it. One ball fell out the breech right now, out the front of the barrel. 234, so that's pretty good. 232, that's pretty good. I've never seen it have that consistent of a second shot before. 214. 202. 194. 180. And I got one more shot in here. 168. So I'm gonna reload this really quick. When you pop this open, it always leaks air out because that's just the way this thing is, so that's totally normal. You can't do anything about that. So here's 7 more Riot balls. And I'm gonna put one in the breech. On that one of the first ball rolled out the barrel, so it could be because these are so small, because they are kind of small. So I'm putting one in the breech. That's the first time I've had one roll out the barrel from a hot loading one. It's never happened before. So it didn't happen this time. It's not falling out. My detents are totally fine. These are actually really good detents. They're like metal tabs. There's 2 of them that kind of hug the ball like how my fingers are. They hug the ball like this on the left and right side. So next mag, this is a shot 8 through 15. 186. 174. 162, 154, 148. So this thing usually has a really good first couple shots. 144, and then like at the end of the first mag, it's usually hitting like 13 or 14 joules. 138, and the way mine is, since I drilled out that restrictor to 1 millimeter. 128. Those first 2 or 3 shots usually hit pretty damn hard. Like, I don't know what 234 feet per second is off the top of my head with this weight of a ball, but it's probably 25 joules, maybe. Could be like 26. I'm gonna get these balls out of here because I don't have that many of them, and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I'm gonna load up the third mag for the Saber. I don't think it's gonna do that well because these balls are so heavy, and the chronograph can only read at the 100 feet per second on the low end. So I don't know if these are going to be good coming out on the chronograph or not. Probably not going to, but here we go. Third mag, 9.9 gram Riot balls, Crossman CO2, 164. The other cool thing about the Saber is when I reload it, it usually has a little bit of a spike in the pressure compared to the end of the previous magazine. 146, 136. So yeah, these are just going to be like 7 joules, 8 joules, 6 joules. 132, 122, 116, 108, and that's it. No more ammo. I probably wouldn't be able to chrono anymore because it's too low. That was 8 shots. So yeah, you can easily get 2 magazines out of a 12 gram CO2. The third mag is severely lacking in power. You can get shots out of it, but it's not very powerful, the third magazine. So that's the comparison of these two on this day with this temperature and with those CO2s. And yeah, I mean, I could do this again in like 90 degree weather, 90 degrees Fahrenheit, or like 30 degrees Celsius weather, and it'll probably be a little bit different. The shot count could go down, the first shot power could go up on both of them. It's really temperature dependent because you're using CO2 and you're using 12 gram CO2s. So these both pierced fine. This was the TR68 pierce. This was the Saber pierce. They both look fine to me. No issues with piercing. And I do kind of like this twisty thing now. It's pretty cool because you can have them armed. Like if I had 2 magazines, I could have both of them pressurized, and or the twisty thing just barely pressed up against the CO2. And then when I need to use it, twist it, or have it in the launcher. Twist it about 1 full turn, because that's pretty much how I do it. Yeah, so if it starts here, I'll try to twist it like 1 complete turn, and it's pretty much good after that. This isn't bad either. I mean, if you had the Gen 2 cap, I would obviously go with that, because sometimes these get hard to rip off with your hands, or just, you know, you have to have an Allen key or like a bump cap thingy right here, which has this like starburst or like sun shaped grip pattern on it. But this is already huge. I don't want this thing to have a big old cap thing sticking on the end of it. So that's the comparison. I'll go inside and do the paper thing and show you guys the average and all that stuff. So see you inside. What's up, guys? So I just got done shooting the Saber and the TR68. These are all the joule values. It wasn't as warm today as the other 2 videos with the alien plays and the Grimberg joules, but the Saber did have the higher first 3 shots, and then the 4th shot was as strong as the second shot on the TR68. And then it just kind of goes down from there. All these little lines are magazine switches. And this one of the Riot balls fell out of the front barrel, so I wasn't able to do 8 because one of them fell out. But that's the first time that that's happened. So I'll see if that happens in the future. It could just be those Riot balls because they're kind of like slick. So these are the Joule averages. 5-shot average, the Saber took that one. 10-shot average, the Saber took that one just barely. 15-shot average, the TR68 just barely was higher. 8-shot average, Saber took that by like half a joule, 1 joule, almost negligible of a difference. The 16-shot average is interesting because they're both pretty much tied. And the TR68 ran out of gas like on the 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, like the 17th shot it ran out of gas. So it cannot get a 23-shot average. But the 23-shot average for the Saber was almost 13 joules. So yeah, since these balls are so heavy, the speeds overall were kind of lower, but it was also not that warm. Because the other days when I was shooting these things, it was like 85 degrees Fahrenheit, almost 30 degrees Celsius, like 29 Celsius. So it was a lot cooler today, and that's why these numbers are slightly lower. But yeah, still not bad for the Saber. Like I said earlier in the previous videos, these are both about the same price point. The TR68 with the 16 joule valve, if you do it yourself, it costs about 150 bucks, maybe like 130 if you can get it for really cheap. The Saber 68 price range varies from like 138. That's how much I got mine for directly from Saber with the promo code, and Amazon has them for like 140 most of the time. So here's your averages, and you guys have a good one.